Hi everyone, we are about to discuss on education. Education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. Knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is power. So during this conversation, we will be talking to our guest today is Engineer Ranjith Rubasinghe, founder, president and CEO of Sri Lanka Technological Campus. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. It's a pleasure. We begin with asking you, sir, could you please brief us about the institute, about the students, the inception, degrees offered, your staff, and more importantly about the local and global recognitions that you have received?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for meeting me and having this discussion. And I'm very happy to hear your introduction, whether the knowledge is the weapon or the application of knowledge is the weapon. So I would like to jump into the discussion with that. So what we believe is like application of knowledge is the weapon, not the knowledge, because it was not the era that we had a competition for knowledge, because knowledge is now available in everywhere on the net. Whatever you want, you have access to knowledge. But the most important thing today is how you apply this knowledge for something productive, something important for the mankind. So that is the exact reason why we established SLTC. Because I'm actually an engineer, graduated from Peradeniya University, been in the industry for more than 20 years. I knew like the importance of application of knowledge rather than simply having knowledge. So what I believe, there is something lacking in our system of education in the country. So what I thought at that time, why not we try something out, which we can have a place where we can more focus on application of knowledge rather than giving knowledge to students. So that is how SLTC came into the picture of Sri Lankan higher education. We are the only research university in Sri Lanka at the moment, and we are very proud to say that we have a lot of reasons for that, and I'm glad that I have a team of researchers, team of people, those who are actually passionate about this. And we started in 2014, we registered the company with the help of SLT, our initial funding partner, and within short span of 4 years we managed to grow ourselves to 3,000 students. I'm having more than 200 staff members on board, out of which more than 40 are postgraduate PhD holders. So I'm very proud of creating this institution. And you asked about the degrees that we offer and our portfolio. We are actually trying to diversify ourselves to all possible areas in education, but we initially started with engineering. We have all the disciplines of engineering, from electronics to civil to mechatronics, aeronautical, whatever you say. And then we now have technology degree programs, which again are something important like and different from the rest of the general degrees in Sri Lanka. The environmental technology, textile technology, fashion merchandising, and agriculture especially, those are the areas that we are covering. We have a business school, and we have started recently the computing and IT school as well, which we are focusing on cutting edge technologies in computing, more than actually IT, because what we believe the future is like computing and data, and that's the trend. Yeah, and I think life is not only technology and living in technological environment. Life is like having diverse experience, having right amount of entertainment, meeting different kind of people and having right relationship with them. So we are trying to add more degree programs which we can bring diverse set of people into this. So the latest addition is our music school. Hope everyone is well aware. One Adika Guruge is our head of school, and this degree is to create musicians. Because what we realize, most of our degrees in current setup is actually creating music, people with music knowledge, and most of them are going to the teaching and trying to disseminate what they learn, but not actually going to the industry. So what we are trying to do is to create musicians to the industry. So that is our approach. So by doing that, of course, what we believe, not only adding value to that particular segment of the market, but we are, say for example, having a student learning music together with a guy who is doing software engineering or civil engineering. This diversity is what we are actually encouraging, because when you go into industry, you are meeting different type of people. So managing people and serving for their needs is something that we believe is important as a graduate.
So Mr. Rubasinghe, I would like to ask you next about your role. How have you defined your role as the founder, president and the chief executive officer of SLTC? Your role is diverse, your role is impactful. How have you defined your role? What is your role?
That's a difficult question, but my role is actually to be the innovator. That is what I am doing. I personally believe, and I think that is the success of SLTC as well. Not only in technology, the innovation is important in all the areas to move forward. That is applicable for education as well. So to move in education industry forward, or by doing that, of course, we are making generation move forward to do innovation in the education industry. So that is where I do my role. We are introducing a lot of novelties into our university. Just if you capture few, say we are open for 24/7. We let girls and boys living in the same building, and these are I think some innovative things that we do in the physical environment of university, so that their mind can be changed accordingly. And not only that, say even the academic delivery, we have introduced this concept called TEAL, Technology Enabled Active Learning. I know, like everybody is well aware, during my childhood the only option that we had to get knowledge is the teacher. There is no other way. But there are many more ways that you can get knowledge today. Teacher is only one way. So what we did, actually we brought technology in, so that we created a framework for students to access knowledge in many ways, and teacher can be the facilitator to guide him what to learn and what not to learn. So that is something that we did. And again, like say this is again related to the knowledge. Say in our system, what we do, actually we are monitoring whether the teacher taught the content, but we are not monitoring whether the student has absorbed that. So we are now converting all our evaluation to evaluate whether the students in that class has absorbed the content that we actually trying to teach them. So we are completely changing our mode of delivery and evaluations and the entire pedagogy to convert them into outcome-based education. So we are monitoring actually the outcome of students, whether they are capable of doing this. So those are the things that we do, and this is a continuous process. I don't think that we have achieved the ultimate goals that we set. I know like the next year we can do something better. So my role is doing continuous innovation to education industry.
So since the inception in 2014 and up to date it's 8 years, what are the challenges you faced? What are the challenges or the biggest challenge that you have faced in establishing SLTC as a prominent university in Sri Lanka?
There are many, but I should say the biggest challenge is the biggest challenge was to communicate this idea to the public, because we are very comfortable of what we know. We are very comfortable of what has happened and what has been happening, and we are just following them as a nation. So this novel concepts of education and communicating that to the community was something that I feel like the most difficult task what I had and I'm handling at the moment. And apart from that, actually we knew like most of these non-state universities are more or less run by the owners or the people, those who have invested for it. What we wanted to create a independent university where the university itself, the council, academics and the university set up to be part of the owners as well as the people, those who are actually running this, so that we will actually give freedom for the relevant individuals to make decisions. That is one challenge that we had and which we have overcome, and I'm very glad to give that freedom initially by SLT. So I'm thankful to SLT for doing that, and later on we wanted to have it in a best possible way. So we now have created the first university in the country which is managed by council itself. So and my task and my plan is to create the first public university in the country as well, so that it will be owned by the public.
Now you mentioned the challenges. Can you also tell us how you overcame them, or what are the solutions that you took to tackle the challenges?
I think the most important thing, the desire that you have to overcome it, and your constant belief of what you believe is right. And I think that is the challenge, and then actually to select the right set of people to your team, because they actually do the job on your behalf if you bring the right team and empowering them. That is what I did, and that gives me results always. And I think Sri Lanka is a country where you can do anything, because we have a very liberal environment. If you have desire to do something, you can find a way to do it. So I'm very happy to be part of being in Sri Lanka and being part of this setup, which I believe I have freedom to do for all these what I have in my mind.
So the Sri Lanka Technological Campus, Mr. Rubasinghe, is contributing in a massive way to the Sri Lankan education system. We would like to know more, or we would like you to elaborate more on this contribution that SLTC makes to the Sri Lankan education system.
Yeah, I mean, if I say like I'm taking say 1,500 intake per year, that is I'm serving for a reasonable number of students, and we are doing a great job by giving them a good and recognized degree, and all those are very traditional things, and we have been recognized by various institutions like Chamber of Commerce. We were recognized as giving Business Excellence Award in doing business, and then we have recognized as the most emerging university in South Asia in 2019. So there are a lot of recognitions to justify this. But what I believe is the biggest contribution that we do is bringing these novelties into the industry. As I told you once, our focus is not for knowledge dissemination, because universities in the world are created and they are to do two important things. One, to create knowledge. The second is to disseminate knowledge. The knowledge creation is the most important out of those two. But in most Sri Lankan universities are focusing on the second objective, just to disseminate knowledge. So what we do and what we are trying to do is to give priority to the first one, to create knowledge, and the dissemination can be a secondary our objective. So that is something that I believe the most important and the biggest contribution that SLTC did to the industry.
Mr. Rubasinghe, one final question. What are the future plans of SLTC? We know that technology is the way forward. Not a single industry would move forward without technology. So what are the future plans of Sri Lanka Technological Campus?
What we believe is, as you rightly said, technology comes into the picture and technology become more involved than what we see today, even for the decision making, which is not at the moment. So the most important thing in future will be the application of knowledge. So we are actually trying to focus on that and to make ourselves ready for that. So we are now completely trying to focus ourselves for basics of science, basics of social studies and all these things. Because that is something that we believe in future you need your basics right to do something impactful. So that we are actually doing a change of our whole curriculums to suit that. And also what we believe, technology will come into the education industry as well. So in future we might not need a classroom to teach students. There are many ways on various platforms that you can acquire and you can get the knowledge. But this human interaction is something very important. So the life of students from their first years to the graduation is very important to shape up a complete professional to the industry at the end of fourth year. So we are completely now focusing on that. We have created a unit called University Life, and they have been given the same recognition and the empowerment as equivalent to the academic space, so that we believe these two together will create a right professional with the right ingredients. So that is the way that we are shaping ourselves. And apart from that, of course, as a university we are not trying to become the biggest in the country. That's not our approach. We want to have a limited number of students. So my target is to have 6,000 students at full capacity and giving the best, the highest quality degree recognized by the world university agencies, and to become an exemplary institute to the Sri Lankan education industry.
All right, Engineer Ranjith Rubasinghe, thank you very much
for
joining.
Sir. Thank you so much.
On behalf of Cloud9 TV, we would like to thank you.
Thank you
it's
so
a
much.
pleasure and privilege for us to have you.
Thank you so much.
So as Mr. Rubasinghe said, humanizing is a topic that most of the people are talking. More importantly, we discussed about the human touch, the human connection, or humanizing organizations where people connect with humans and understand what they require and provide solutions through the use of technology. So as Mr. Rubasinghe said, it's important that you connect with humans and prepare your solutions and cater to the needs of the people. So until we meet with another interesting conversation of this nature with a guest of this caliber, we say thank you very much, and it's goodbye from all of us here